What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody back again with another video, and this time we're taking a look at our boy DSP's daily rap video. After a day of, well, two wage quits. That's right, we got two wage quits. Our boy Phil wage quit Invincible, and he also wage quit the WWE Champions Pokemon Edition. That's right, another Gacha game, but I'm kind of worried about that game. I'm worried that, yes, DSP will not play it on stream, but it might be the next mobile game gotcha addiction for DSP because man, he was salivating last night while he was playing the game. It reminded him very much so of WWE Champions. And even here on the Daily Rap, you can hear that, he would love nothing more to play this on stream and get paid for it, and also play it in his private, his private life, when he's on the toilet and ignoring soulmate. So let's hear him. We'll talk about it because I think it's pretty funny.
Here and welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was the final day of my streaming week for this week, Thursday, the 9th of April, 2026. And if you're wondering, wait, it's only Thursday, why is it your final streaming day? Taking an extra day off to spend some time with my wife to celebrate my wedding anniversary. So let's talk about today, because today was certainly an interesting day.
By the way, boys, round of applause. Take a bow. That's right, take a bow. It was you. It was detractors, right? It was detractors that for many years have guilt-tripped DSP for not taking off during his anniversary. And every single year, of course, he says, oh, his wife doesn't care, and blah, 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 and it doesn't matter. There's been times where he hasn't even announced the anniversary until someone brings it up in his chat. So this year, DSP, I guess, decided that, it's the 7 years. You got to be careful because everybody knows about the 7-year itch. He has to make sure that he locks down soulmate for another 7 years. Make sure she doesn't go and find, greener pastures. So he decided this year, and of course it was mostly because of detractors guilt-tripping him, he is going to take soulmate, or I don't know, maybe they're going to go to Costco or Burger King. But he's taking the day off. That's right. Not. He's not simply just going to ignore her by working. He's going to ignore her hanging around while she plays Skyrim. So, big ups. Good job, Phil.
Being that it was the final day of the week and a double new release day. Today I tried out both the Invincible Versus open beta on PlayStation 5, and I tried out Pokemon Champions on the Switch 2. But before we got to either of those, I had a special morning show. Today I talked about in detail my history with Street Fighter 6 over the last 3 years, and why I'm finally done with the game, and also any conditions for which a reason why I would return to it if I so choose. So if you're interested in that, if you've enjoyed my Street Fighter 6...
No, there was nothing special about it. All it was a 20-minute rant raging about netcode and the Tannen brothers. The same nonsense he spiels at least once a week. There was nothing special about it, okay? It was just him justifying why he wage quit the game. No support. Jack Raxter didn't come around and promises $100 per stream, and that's why he's wage quitting it. Don't worry, it'll be back in a month. Jack Raxter will text him, let him know, hey brother, I will give you the $100 that per stream. Just bring it back. And when he's wage quitting everything else and has nothing, once RimWorld dies, because that's dying pretty soon, and all he's doing is playing Pokemon and Dragon Quest, he'll bring back Street Fighter because there's nothing else on the horizon that will bring the dents to cough up their money.
Coverage for the last 3 years, and you want to know my rationale and what's going on, check out the morning show, okay? Then, after the morning show, we jumped into Invincible Versus on PlayStation 5. Allow me to summarize my thoughts about this game. The graphics, they're okay. They kind of look like a stylized comic book, maybe a little bit like the show, maybe not.
Stylized.
The game has more lighting effects than the actual animation of the show, which in my opinion is kind of not that good, just being honest. It has a selection of about, I want to say like 10 fighters. I could be wrong, but I thought it was around 10 fighters for this open beta. It's a 3v3 tag in, tag out fighting game. So right off the bat, you might say, oh, so it's like Marvel vs. Capcom 3, right? Yes and no. It's the same premise, where you can do kind of basic dial combos of light, medium, heavy, into a special move, into a super move. Similar to Marvel 3, you could do that, okay? Yes, you can tag in and out on the fly to extend combos, just like you could do in other fighting games, okay? However, this game, I would have to say, is probably the most basic fighting game I've ever played in my life, even though it tries to be complex. What do I mean by that? Well, the game has all the mechanics of, say, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and 3. It's got timed tags in and out. It's got timed reversals where you can block and reverse and break out, or push blocks to push an offensive attack backwards after a block. It's got the ability to stun enemy and then snap them back, meaning you could snap them out and have the other teammate come in who maybe has lower health. It even has stage transitions Similar to the Injustice series, although I'll tell you this, they're insanely basic in this game and barely do anything, so I don't know why they're even present, to be frank. But even though it has all that complexity, when it comes down to it, the game is incredibly simple. Here's how the game is played. You either run away throwing fireballs the entire time and have your assist keep people away, or you dash in and you mash the light attack button, which does an auto combo. While it's auto comboing, if it hits, you do a big combo, which you can cancel into a special move or super, or you can launch during the combo like in Marvel vs. Capcom, and you can do an aerial combo, okay? Now, here's the catch, okay? If you block, the enemy can decide to call out an assist, which keeps you blocking. Then they can continuously mash light attack a second time. Then they can call out their second assist, which keeps you blocking. Then they can continuously mash light attack a third time, and by then, their first assist already has recharged, and they can do it again. So essentially, it's whoever gets the first hit, you have to keep attacking, and then the other person eventually has to use one of the defensive maneuvers to push them back or knock them away. It's insanely basic.
Phil, okay, look, you can implore those same mechanics as well. It's not like you have one arm tied behind your back when you play these games. It's not like the developers build the game out and say, okay, well, Darkseid Phil can't use these game mechanics, okay? He acts like the game is developed specifically where he can't do certain things. You could do certain things, Phil. You just can't. For whatever reason, you can't. Your brain, your hand-eye coordination, the gout, I don't know what it is, but you can't do it. So, of course, instead of learning how to do it or finding strategies to counter those moves, you want to sit there and bitch and complain and say the game is terrible. It's an okay game. Again, I'm not big on these kind of Marvel games that, these fighting games. Like, I'm not big on Super Smash. That's not my... I really don't like those games. But I can see the appeal. I can see why people like them. It reminded me a little bit of the more recent Mortal Kombat, where you can do duels and do call-ins and assists and all that. Whatever, you know what I mean? But again, I'm not the demographic. I'm not big on fighting games. But I can see how people that like fighting games like this. And it was funny because I watched the gameplay and the only one mashing was you. You were mash punching or mash jabbing non-stop. That's all you did. Because again, you failed to actually learn the moves and the mechanics, and you forgot how to play with your specific characters. I'm assuming every character there has a unique ability. And I didn't see that not once. All I saw was DSP mash jab. That's all he did. And I love how he puts that criticism on other people. Oh, all they're doing is mash jabbing. Yeah, bro, you were the one mash jabbing this time around. You were the one that was just throwing punches and just mashing buttons. That was you, brother. Because if you heard the gameplay, you can always hear when DSP is clicking away on his joystick, on his pad or whatever. And all you kept hearing through the whole thing was click, 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 click. He was just he was mashing buttons. So again, Phil, just because you suck, man, doesn't mean the game is terrible, okay? And I know a lot of people said the game's not that great, but it's in beta. You know what I mean? This was a beta or a demo? I'm not sure exactly what it is. So trust me, most of these games like these, they're not always polished when they come out. But usually within a month or two, they update it, they make changes, they add stuff to it, and it gets a little bit better. But whatever. Again, the thing here is the faulty. The thing here was the faulty donation mechanics. That's what was faulty with the game. He didn't hit the goal. He was at $80 most of the day. At the end, he put on the hardcore begging. Got to, I think, like $1.10 or something like that. Yeah, okay, let's keep going.
And you might say, well, there's got to be more to it. There isn't. That's actually the basic gameplay of this game. Now, while you're doing a combo, you have the ability to tag out and have a partner come in during a combo and extend the combo. So I could do a bunch of hits, combo, tagging my second partner, bunch of hits, combo, tagging the third partner, bunch of hits, combo, super, while you're dead. You can actually do, I believe, around 60 to 70% damage on one person in one combo in this game. However, every time that you tag someone in, a mini game begins. Because every time that you tag someone in, the opponent has the ability to press 2 buttons timed perfectly to bounce the tag back and stop the combo. Now, what you can do is tag in and stagger. So now you force them to try to counter and miss, and then you can punish them. So essentially the game is either mashing light attack while pressing tag and hoping for a hit, or, hey, how do I interrupt their tag when they're doing it during a combo? That's the whole game. There's no real zoning, there's no real footsies, there's no real neutral. It's just a bunch of mashing buttons, throwing out assists to keep people locked down, and then tagging in and out and stopping the tagging in and out during combos. That's all that there is to Invincible Versus. The beta was glitched today. I don't know if they fixed it, but basically the ranked play, which was all that was available for online play, didn't work. You would play a match, it would say, oh, your placement match went through, and then it would delete your result, and you'd start over. So the matchmaking didn't work, and you couldn't match with anyone of a skill level. So I kept playing people who hadn't played at all, and I had a string of like 18 to 19 wins before I finally played against someone who knew the meta, which is mash light attack and assist together the entire round. And they decimated me because that's ass, and it's not supposed to be a fighting game's way to play. And I was trying to do things like the reversal.
Okay, this is just some lame ass excuses. Let's move forward.
Tried one team, which I think was like, let's see.
Move forward.
Alan the Alien, Omni-Man, and I forgot, and that was it. Did I have fun at any point during the game? Only maybe the first 1 or 2 matches when I was learning the combo system to do air combos and super cancel. And then after that, it wasn't fun ever again. It was insanely freaking boring because it's massively repetitive.
Because the money wasn't there. The support wasn't there.
And quite frankly, I think the game is an embarrassment. I actually think that if this is where fighting games are going, if it's meant to be mindless, mash one button and then assist, and mash a button and assist, hope for a hit, to get a hit, mini game for tagging, and then everyone mash again.
By the way, this fucking video went like 13 minutes long. I sped it up, and even then I sped it up now. When I recorded, I think I got it down to 12 minutes, and I'm speeding it up now because this is just complete nonsense. He's just giving you excuses why he wage quit the game, okay? That's all it is. He wage quit the game. I mean, whatever. Let's keep going.
And I hope someone hits someone. It's complete garbage.
Okay,
the
whatever.
actual game engine is horrendous for what they're thinking is going to be a competitive fighting game. It's not. It's because that's what sells. So real fighting games will go away. And instead, we'll just have everyone having to play these shitty games. That game is bad. I don't recommend it. You can judge for yourself and watch the footage. I think it was terrible. I would not recommend it, nor would I play it again.
Okay. Yeah, you wage quit it. We know. We get it.
Before you say, oh, well, you didn't get a lot of support for it, that's why you don't like it. I did like $125. It's fine.
Yeah, $80 until almost 7 o'clock, right? Literally about 10 or 15 minutes before it closed down. And then one dent sergeant, whatever the stupid idiot name, came in and gave you like $40, $50 or whatever. So again, same thing happens on the night stream, which he's going to talk about right now.
Fine. There's nothing wrong with that. The more matches you play, the more matches you win, you earn the points. This lets you recruit more Pokemon and also customize the Pokemon. Okay? Apparently, you can also customize your avatar and many other things.
All right, here it is,
the battles
folks.
are 3v3. There are double battles as well, but I only did the 3v3 single battles. So you have to be strategic. You want to get a spread of Pokemon that basically cover a whole bunch of elements or weaknesses, and that way, hopefully, you always have a Pokemon for almost every situation, although it's not really possible with only 3 Pokemon on a team. I played it for about 2 hours, over 2 hours tonight. At first, I was like, there's nothing to it. But then what happened is I kind of got addicted. I got addicted to the formula of,
you got addicted.
It really makes you master Pokemon. You really have to understand all the elemental weaknesses and strengths. You have to understand.
Almost like WWE Champions. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this is the new Pokemon game where it's basically a mobile gacha game. It's WWE Champions, where you can buy Pokemon and all this shit. DSP did not make any money. I mean, he was at $20 the whole night, and then of course one dent came in and dropped like $70 or $80. Just to felt the trolls, essentially. Not because he liked what Phil was doing, but because he wanted to felt the trolls because the guy, Sergeant something, I'm not even going to say his name, he donated to Phil, and some people, some detractors posted some mean comments on a video of his that he posted 9 years ago, and he got butthurt, so he decided to come in and show the trolls by basically, you know, giving up his allowance. So yeah, he didn't make any money, and he already talked about wage quitting it before that money came in. He's not playing this ever again. But if you hear his tone, you know that he's going to play this shit on his mobile game. As soon as it comes out on mobile, he is going to play this game, and it is going to be the next WWE Champions Gacha addiction. He's been playing WWE Champions. He hasn't been spending as much money as he normally has on the game, but I think what he's doing is he's looking for a new game, and this might be it. This Pokemon Challenge, whatever game, might be the one that gets him back to dropping, you know, $2 or $3 grand a month on a mobile game. Like, you could tell when he was playing it and he got into it, man, his eyes lit up because he was just like, my God. Because you could tell when he was playing it, he was thinking, man, if I had a better Pokemon, right? And in this game, the only way to really get it is to buy them. You have to buy them. So he was just thinking in his mind, man, I can see myself playing this every day. I can see myself ignoring my wife so I can play this. I can see spending thousands of dollars every month to be on the leaderboard. So keep an eye out on this game. I'm going to keep an eye out. You know, if we start seeing very strange behavior occurring, very similar to when he was at his peak and wasting money on WWE Champions, then we know that he's playing another gacha game. Okay? So, you know, I recorded the segment, so we know what he used for his ID. We know what he looks like. We know when he created the account. So, you know, just we'll keep tracking it just in case. We'll keep tracking it. But sadly, he didn't get the support goal. He did make a little bit of money at the end because of that one Dent, Sergeant Dent, whatever his name is. But yeah, it was dead. The whole playthrough was pretty much dead. No one gave a shit. No one cared. He got basically like 3 donations all night. And you could just tell he was. I thought he was going to quit it early to do like a 45-minute Q and beg session just to hit, just to get some money. That's how bad it was. But of course, Sergeant Dent came in at the very end and gave him $50 and then I think $20 more or something like that. I know he ended up giving him like $70 or whatever it is, but of course he still didn't hit the goal. So that's no coffers 3 times. Our boy did not hit the goal three streams in a row. And come Sunday, there's gonna be some massive begging. I think this Sunday he plays Dragon Quest, I think, for the first stream. Oh my lord, and we know how Dragon Quest goes. So Sunday should be interesting. That's really all I have. He's just bitching and moaning, complaining about games. It looks like the 2 games he was hoping to replace. He was hoping one of these games would work out and he could replace Street Fighter with it. Like he really thought the Invincible game may replace Street Fighter, but that's not going to happen. So that's just another indication that he's going to go back to Street Fighter earlier rather than later. So give him like 2 weeks. He'll start doing Friday night fights again because of course, how many days can you play Pokemon, Phil? How many days can you play RimWorld? Your Rewind game is in the toilet. No one cares about that. No one's supporting that. So the only playthrough right now that you're actually making any money on is maybe RimWorld. And even that, the last 2 streams was a struggle. You had one person come in at the very end to actually drop support to get you to your goal. So I don't know, brother. You better come up with some new games. Hopefully those new games next week, Persona, whatever the hell it is. Hopefully they bring some cash because man, your support is drying up. And by the way, I know a lot of people know that he made bank during his marathon stream, but man, everything after that has been horrible. Like even with that marathon stream, his weekly intake of money was average. So if he didn't have his birthday marathon, my God, this week would have been one of the worst weeks he'd had in years. I mean, it was pretty bad. And of course, sadly, most of the money came in super chats. So YouTube takes a huge chunk of that. That's probably why he didn't make as much as he would have normally made if he had one huge day, especially during the marathon. So anyway, I'm going to end it, folks. I'm going to be streaming today at 9 o'clock. We're going to be looking at the 10-year plan where DSP scammed his poor mother. That's right. The anniversary is today. And yeah, it should be a lot of fun. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.